Madam Ombudsman, you testified a few minutes ago in reply to the query of the presiding judge that $769,681 were withdrawn from an account of the Chief Justice in the month of December 2011. You confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Can you advise us or tell us how much was withdrawn from December 12 forward?
No more. It did not go back anymore. I mean, the data that was sourced did no longer indicated where that 769,000 plus went.
So you won't be able to tell if it was done on December 12?
December 15.
15?
Yes.
I see. So that amount of 769,681 was withdrawn on December 15?
Yes.
You testified yesterday that there were significant accounts with respect to certain significant events. Do you recall that, Madam
Yes, sir.
Ombudsman?
Yes, sir.
Can you clarify what you meant by that?
Well, what I meant was that there were significant deposits and withdrawals on significant events. When I say events, I am referring to, let's say, 2004 election, 2007 election, and during the period onset of the impeachment proceedings.
For the elections of 2004, Madam Ombudsman, which you consider to be a significant event, what was the corresponding significant figure?
Let me look at my código.
Beg Your Honor, the question do not appear clear to us. May we request for a reforming of the question, Your Honor?
No,
I have my copy of.
what is vague about it?
Well, there are various incidents mentioned in the question, Your Honor. We would like to know what is the gist of the question, Your Honor.
Will the good gentleman of the prosecution repeat the question so that we will understand the nature of the objection?
I asked, Mr. President, what were the significant periods pertaining to the significant events which the Honorable Ombudsman mentioned? What are the figures?
She mentioned
Election.
the as events the election of 2004,
That's right, Your Honor.
and then the impeachment filed in this court,
Yes, Your Honor. And the
Articles of
elections in 2007.
and then the election in 2007. Yes.
Yes, and I'm just asking the witness
Oh.
when she said that there were significant amounts pertaining to a significant event, what are these amounts? I think that's very clear.
Yeah.
In fact, the witness has not said the question is vague.
Let the witness answer.
Yes, sir. In May 12, there was a
May 12 when, Your Honor?
2014. No, rather 2004. There was a deposit of 500. Where is my? I had a deposit of 500,000 at the Bank of PI Acropolis on May 14, 2004.
That was
Yes,
dollars.
we're all talking of dollars.
All right, thank you.
Dollar is spokening, in other words. On May 14, there was a deposit of $500,000.
May I ask this question to clarify? Just so, is there any showing who made the deposit into that?
There is none, Your
Deposit
Honor.
account.
Maybe it's only the banks which can determine who
The
made the
records
deposit.
of the bank would show.
Maybe, Your Honor.
By the way, are these deposit accounts interest-bearing deposits?
I suppose so, Your Honor.
And there must
Some
be, there
are
must be a
interest-
record of withholding of the 20% final tax.
The bank would be able to enlighten us on the matter, Your Honor, because we have no documents to back up this record of transactions.
Yes, please go ahead.
Then, Yes, I'm looking at 2007. Can I have my magnifying lens? On 2007, on May 3, there was a deposit of 293,645.23 at the Bank of Philippine Islands in San Francisco del Monte. On May 3...
By the way, do we know the exchange rate at that time, madam? If these are in dollars,
I
what
don't
would be
know,
the
Your Honor.
equivalent amounts in pesos?
Thank you. I don't know, Your Honor, but I think at the time the exchange rate was much higher than the present rate of exchange now. All right. On May 3, 2007, there was a deposit at the BPI against San Francisco del Monte branch in the amount of 25,003.39.0. No, rather.
Can you say that again, madam? 25,000? 250,000.
Where are we? On May 3, 2007, there was a deposit of 27,039.80 at the Bank of Philippine Islands, San Francisco del Monte. On May 3 again, there was a deposit of 134,603.28 again at the BPI, San Francisco del Monte. On May 3, there was a deposit of 63,345.61 at the BPI SFDM. And on, again, May 3, there was a deposit of 53,572.71 at the same bank in BPI San Francisco del Monte. Again, on May 5, still the same. No. It's not May 5. There are simply too minute to be read by the naked eye, although I already have. On May 3, there was still the same May 3. There was a deposit of 15,083.83 at the BPI San Francisco del Monte branch. And that's all, Your Honor.
How about for the December 2011 period? You already mentioned how much? 769,681.
All right. This is a conservative estimate of the total funds that were moved during the impeachment week.
Yes, madam.
On December 12, regular trust fund contribution, placement, investment in the amount of $417,978.80. On December 12 to 13, there was an encashment converted to pesos, 135,359.01. On December 13, there was purchase of manager's check, DDTT, in the amount of 388,771.22. On December 13...
What is that, dollars, pesos?
We are still speaking of dollars, Your Honor. We did not touch on the peso account because the subpoena limited the document that should be presented with respect to dollar accounts. On December 13, still the same December 13, subtracted from account number 15880213886, reflected as debit memo, credit transaction was not provided in the amount of 12,888.67 is reflected. On December 15, securities were sold in the amount of $465,000. On December 15, there was a debit memo from an account, and it totaled $72,029.33. On December 15, there was a withdrawal from the same account, $343,192.62. On still December 15, there was an excess of credits still in the same account in the amount of $4,459.76. On December 19, there was purchase of manager's check, DD, TT, in the amount of $487,998.09. On December 19, there was excess of deposits in a different account in the amount of $22,998.09. And on December 20, there were debit memos from a different account in the amount of $687,648.55. So, the total remittance in December, we add this to the outward remittance of $350,000 US would give a total of $3,388,323.14.
Can you tell us, Madam Ombudsman, which banks were involved in these withdrawals?
This is Allied Banking, ABC.
Just one bank,
It's, BPI
BPI and Allied Bank.
and PS,
Oh,
Philippine
so
Savings.
It's PS Bank,
It's over there.
Allied Bank, and BPI.
Yes, Your Honor.
So three banks.
Yes, Your Honor.
And these withdrawals took place from December 12 to December 20.
22, it says
22.
here.
I asked yesterday the Commissioner Mendoza if they did a study of the peso accounts of the Chief Justice, and you're now saying you did not.
There was actually a study of the peso accounts, but since the subpoena limited the production of documents bearing on the dollar accounts, we just brought documents bearing on the dollar accounts.
So you do not have with you, Madam, your records regarding the peso accounts, or do you have them with you?
It is reflected in the same document that we
Yes.
sourced from the AMLAC.
Do you have any summary of the highlights of the peso accounts?
I did not bring it with me, Your Honor.
Thank you, thank you. If Your Honor, please may we ask for leave for the Ombudsman to bring the data and the summaries of the peso accounts?
Yeah. Are you going to make the Ombudsman your witness?
No, just a reservation, Your Honor, please. Just a reservation.
He is now on cross, Your Honor.
You are on cross-examination. Remember, you are on cross-examination.
All right.
And I think you know the rules. If you want to convert the Ombudsman as your witness and require the presentation of documents, then you have to do the necessary motions.
I withdraw that, Your Honor, please.
All right.
May I proceed?
Withdraw.
Madam Witness, you earlier said that you received 3 complaints from